My hands were still shaking when I held the small silver key my late husband, Daniel, had left for me. He had been gone for 6 months, taken too early by a sudden heart attack, leaving me with silence where laughter used to live. But the moment I found the envelope tucked inside his old jacket, his handwriting saying only one thing, "Go alone," I felt something inside me break open. Why would he leave a key? Why one address? And why alone? That question kept whispering in my ears as I drove through the cold Toronto evening, snowflakes tapping the windshield like impatient fingers. The address led me to a quiet neighborhood, a place I'd never been. A small brick house stood at the end of the street, lights off, curtains drawn. I stepped out, my heart pounding so loudly it echoed in my ears. I wanted to turn back. But grief makes you brave in strange ways. So I walked up to the door, slid the key into the lock, and pushed it open. What I saw made my breath stop. Inside was a warm living room lit by a single lamp. On the walls were photographs, hundreds of them. Pictures of me and Daniel, from the day we met in Vancouver to the last autumn we spent walking around the lake near our home. Photos I had never seen before. Moments he'd captured quietly, secretly, lovingly. I covered my mouth as tears rolled down my cheeks. But that wasn't the only surprise waiting. In the center of the room sat a woman in her 60s, hair silver, hands clasped together like she'd been expecting me. Her eyes softened the second they met mine. "You must be Emily," she said gently. I froze. How do you know my name?" She stood slowly, her movements delicate. "Because Daniel told me everything about you." My knees weakened. "Who are you?" She motioned toward the couch. "Please sit." I promised Daniel I would tell you the truth. I sat because I didn't know what else to do. She took the seat across from me, her voice trembling as she began. "I'm his mother." My heart dropped. Daniel's mother. But he told me she died when he was a child. Her eyes glistened. He didn't lie. I had to leave him, for his safety. I was in an abusive marriage. His father was dangerous, unpredictable. The only way Daniel could grow up safely was if I disappeared completely. But I watched from afar, quietly, always keeping track of him, his schools, his work, even when he married you. I felt every word like a weight on my chest. But why didn't he tell me? She smiled sadly. Because he wanted to protect you too. And because he wanted you to meet me only when you were strong enough. When he was gone, he knew you would need someone who loved him as deeply as you do. My tears spilled freely now. All the loneliness I'd been carrying for months suddenly cracked open. He planned this, all of this. She nodded. This house was his secret gift. He bought it last year. He wanted it to be a place where you could heal, where you could still feel close to him. I looked around the room. Every photo, every memory, every detail felt like a carefully wrapped message from Daniel, a message saying he was still taking care of me, even from the other side. His mother reached out and held my hand, her touch warm and familiar in a strange way. "You weren't left alone, Emily. He never wanted that for you. He wanted you to know you still have family." For the first time since he died, my heart didn't feel completely hollow. I squeezed her hand back, feeling something inside me finally settle, like a long winter beginning to melt. We spent hours in that house, talking about Daniel's childhood, his dreams, the things he never told anyone. By the time I left, the sky had turned soft with morning light, and for the first time in months, I felt like I could breathe again. The key wasn't just to a house. It was to healing. It was to truth. It was to a new beginning. And as I closed the door behind me, I realized something Daniel must have known all along. Love doesn't end when a person dies. It simply finds new ways to reach us. And sometimes, it leads us to the door we never knew we needed to open.